want to thank the Nanaimo people whose ancestral grounds we're on, and may we look for ways of being in solidarity with them every chance we get. I want to thank the Nanaimo Social Action Network and Food Not Bombs for organizing this gathering today. And that's all for now. When I was this age, I was a student at University of Toronto and belonged to the Canadian University's campaign for nuclear disarmament. And some of us went in a cavalcade to Ottawa from Toronto to protest the Beaumont missile bases, the nuclear bases that were in Canada. And we stopped in Belleville at my parents' house to get fed and to try our ideas out on my dad. And my dad listened really carefully, and then he smiled politely and said, "You just vote and then you let them do the work." And I've thought about that over the years, and I've never ever accepted that, because we have people who profit from war lobbying our government, whining and dining our politicians, promising their support, finding academics to write opinion pieces in the paper, creating myths around valorization of war, marketing war toys and games to our children. So of course we have to be active. Of course we have to be here. Of course we have to rally and write letters and emails and sometimes commit civil disobedience. We have to do everything we can to create a culture of peace and to convince our politicians to do the right thing. Hear, hear.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, well done.
Canada's military budget has increased astronomically, especially over the Trudeau years. It's just gone right up. And if you look at the Canada's budget itself, you can see that the money spent in the environment in the last 20 years goes like this, whereas the military budget goes like this. That's not okay. Our membership in NATO really needs to be questioned, because this has grown from a small military alliance of 12 countries to 29. They've become a very dangerous organization that creates wars and destabilizes countries in order to protect our interests, which is usually oil. And if you look at Iran, there was the Anglo-Persian oil company, which Mossadegh tried to nationalize. And in 1953, the British and the Americans got together, took him out of office, put in the Shah, and who was corrupt and who terrorized people, tortured former politicians and any people that disagreed with him. And that led the way to Ayatollah Khomeini. Like, this interference in other countries does not help. It just destabilizes and causes death and destruction. So we can do better. And thank you for coming today and standing up against war in Iran and for peace and for community. Many, many thanks for organizing this event. And at the end of the event, you're all invited up to the large meeting room upstairs in the library for some light refreshments and further conversation. Thank you.
Before we get on with our second speaker, I'd first like to express our deepest condolences to the people in Nanaimo who are friends and family of the victims of Flight 752.